Hello everyone, this is Isabel talking to you from London. Today I'm in the company of Nigel Bayliff, CEO of Aqua Comms. Aqua Comms is not the only the company that throws some of the best networking party in the industry. It's also one of the leading bandwidth infrastructure service provider. Nigel, welcome to my HotShot.
Oh, hi, how are you?
Very well. Last time we saw each other, it was in warm Hawaii.
Yeah,
now
Hawaii.
It's not so warm London.
Grey, dreary London, just to match the prospects of the industry. No, I don't mean that. We have to have variety, otherwise it wouldn't seem nice in Hawaii. So
yes, you're right.
That's what London brings, variety.
One of the things, anyway.
Definitely.
So Nigel, I've said it many times before in interviews and articles. I truly believe that connectivity and cable are sexy again. Mm-hmm. Because from my point of view, they're the basis of the whole society more and more. Yep. And it's the fabric on which we're currently building the future society.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And on top of that, I think you will agree, hopefully, that OTTs are playing a greater role, or are starting to impact that part of the industry.
Yes. Yeah.
And changing the dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
So what's your view on all of that? What are the trends? What's happening that is really cool and sexy in the cable and connectivity world?
Well, I've travelled for 25 years or so as an employee of various telcos and various companies. Now I can almost feel like I'm back at home. FaceTime, all these different activities allow me to connect back with my family back at home in the UK, wherever I am in the world, subject to the time zone. And the thing that people forget is that's all built on cables, all of it. There's a tiny portion goes on satellites, but in reality it's those pipes across the sea. So we have this situation where very few strands of cable connect us together across the Atlantic Ocean. There's maybe 11 at the moment, and maybe that reduces actually, and we'll end up with 6 or 7 enormous pipes that connect the two continents together resiliently to make sure every cat video you want to watch, every birthday card you want to send electronically, every message, every phone call, every FaceTime, everything goes over these cables. So they're yes, you could call them sexy again, but they're so critical. They're a part of our DNA now as a humanity that populate the world. If you don't have access to them, you're kind of a second-tier citizen, and there is a lot to do still to connect some of the countries and parts of the world that don't have free access. But there's also something to keep them in the best condition, and to keep augmenting them and expanding them to make sure that we can always remain connected. We take hundreds of millions of dollars, put it in the sea, you never see it again. You won't see it for 25 years when you take it up maybe and recycle.
Yes, we completely forget that it's there, but it's...
Yeah. We rely on it completely. And it's almost seen by layers of the industry as free and infinitely expandable. And they're not, it isn't obviously those things, but the fact that they think of it like that means we're doing a good job at maintaining this resilient mesh across the oceans.
And what about the OTT component? What do you think how do you think it's going to change that part of the industry?
In effect, it's no real different to it was 20 years ago. If you go back 20 years, there were some massive buyers, and they were called carriers. They were Deutsche Telekom, Orange, France Telecom, British Telecom, and they all got together and they said, hey chaps, let's all put our money together, get a system built, and we'll build maybe a few of them so we've got resilience. We'll own a piece each. We have the need because we bring everybody's voice calls, everybody's telexes into one pipe and send it across. With deregulation, that's just changed. So the people who use telecoms as an internal part of building what they do for customers has changed, that's all. And the biggest ones now are actually the people that you get your Outlook 365 from, or your Azure service, or your Amazon Web Services. Everybody buys from Amazon. Well, all of that eventually goes over all these cables to big server farms. They're just aggregating the demand differently. The carriers still have their part to play. They've still got to bring the access networks into the cable landing station. They've got to sell 5G services to end users who still use a small part of this capacity. So to me, it's just the mix has changed into a few. There's still a few massive companies. It's just they're not called AT&T, and they don't have a T at the end anymore, really, right? That's the big difference. They are using this to build massive pipes between huge data centers to give us the things that we want. YouTube, Netflix, all of those services are provided using this infrastructure the same way that voice services used to be. It won't even be about you or me talking, it will be about, your coffee machine talking to, Keurig somewhere in the cloud saying she's using a bit more coffee this month, make sure you start shipping some more beans. That kind of aggregation of these minute demands, they're going to drive what goes on the systems.
As long as it's only my coffee machine and the information about
we won't talk about the link to the winery, that's okay. The vineyard.
So very exciting stuff. So
Yeah.
I think I'm right saying it's definitely sexy again.
Yeah.
What about Aqua Comm? What's sexy that is coming up in the roadmap for Aqua Comm in the next year or so?
Okay, well, we've done a deal with our friends in Facebook and Google and an investor from Norway called Bulk Infrastructure to come together and build the have-through cable system. We're going to take a portion of that cable system and join it with our existing cable system and create what we're calling the North Atlantic Bridge. So from several points on that network, and we're building another cable across the Irish Sea and across the North Sea. So from Denmark, from Ireland, from the UK, you will be able to get resilient path connectivity on a flexible basis. We're a very flexible private organisation. You can rent it, lease it, buy it, IRU it. It's all a financial mechanism for us. We own the assets and we can, essentially deploy it as we need to. So we're providing this bridge in the north of Europe. Now the north of Europe is cold and electricity is cheap. So our view is that's where there's going to be a big concentration of data centres, not just for the OTT guys who are doing their own thing, but for everybody. For us, we've chosen this lowest layer of the infrastructure in lamination, and we look to layer on as much volume as we can to get the efficiency of our operating model.
Okay.
And it's fun, we're a company that's driven by submarine. We're not, I don't think about 5G. Let somebody else think about that. But what I don't want to be is a company that has to think about mobile phones, masts, network, city, metros, blah, blah. We're thinking about something very specific. We're very focused. That's the one thing that you could always say about Aqua Comms. We're focusing on a very specific thing and trying to be very good at it. And we think we're doing moderately well at that. And then take that model around the world. Yeah.
Exciting stuff, Nigel. We need to do that on a regular basis, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe next time on your cable laying ship, not cable laying boat.
No,
I got it
boat.
right.
Yeah,
cable laying ship.
Yeah.
You never know.
Don't want to annoy the engineers. It's
No.
a ship, not a boat. Yeah, we could see. Yeah.
Yes, that would be so much fun. And thank you so much, Nigel, for your time.
No problem.
I think you inspired me to look into cable and connectivity even more than I already am.
Okay.
And everyone, I'm sure you've been inspired by Nigel. Thank you for watching, and until the next Hot Shot.